Today we get a brand new house invasion thriller in which the hero is a 13-year-old girl or Lulu Wilson and the villain for the first time ever is Kevin James. There are definitely a couple of interesting selling points in. And it turned out to be an interesting movie as well, meaning its somewhat odd mixture and nature of its elements, but whether if it's a good movie is debatable. Lulu Wilson gives a highlight performance as the main pumping mechanism for the heart of Becky, portraying an initially bratty teenager fighting a trauma and projecting the bad on the outside world as teenagers often do. While staying the weekend at the remote lake house with her father, a neo-Nazi Kevin James breaks out of prison with his gang of misfits and comes by to pay a visit. Soon we learn the damn near horror-like nature of this flick, as excessive value only for shock violence frequently presents itself. In theory, Becky should be a gripping, tight and entertaining thriller, but it does not or chooses not to walk that tightrope. The end product looks and feels like a horror thriller, nasty, greasy, dirty entertainment, a niche of things I dig and which has many great genre examples like Eden Lake, house invasion flicks Kidnapped, Straw Dogs and multiple Rob Zombie movies. Close to what could fit one of the many exploitation genre types or splatter movies. The problem with Becky, however, is that it doesn't own it. While playing out quite pointlessly, Becky is seemingly constantly striving for a higher message and extra depth for its storylines and philosophies. And that's something there's very little of in Becky, philosophy or message. Becky is mostly a one-note, one-concept movie with above all just entertainment value, but it hasn't embraced that as much as they could have and likely should have. The ending wasn't of the satisfying kind either. Nevertheless, it's a respectfully executed movie for the deeper and most bothersome flaws have to do directly with the story and screenplay. Other than that, both acting leads do a fine job. It is very rare for a movie like this to have a 13-year-old adolescent for a hero, and Lulu's performance is solid, whether you like the character or not. And who wasn't at least a little bit intrigued by seeing a Kevin James in a villainous role, and straight to being a neo-Nazi no less?
I want to believe you. I really do, but you're not making it easy. Lucky for us, I brought a lie detector.
Perhaps the most intimidation and awesomeness he showed is when he didn't talk, because the dialogue given to him made him a villain that doesn't have a whole lot to remember him by. Around also was the gentle giant and actual nice character ex-WWE star Robert Maillet, whom you might remember from Sherlock Holmes.
Cool, que tu l'appelles cool.
Avec plaisir.
Cinematographer Greta Zozula has made sure Becky is aesthetically easy to take and easy to enjoy. For gorehounds, there's enough portions of visual dessert as well. I like the original score from early on. Indie stuff was pretty gloomy and aggressive, though at times it felt like what's happening on the screen has no right to do anything with the music over it. It was quite a big surprise to learn the composer Nima Fakhara scored also Trauma Center and Survive the Night, latter of which I recently reviewed and hated both of them. Becky is a decent thriller with an intriguing lead acting duo and their characters and some visceral horror elements, but other than that, it doesn't have a whole lot going for it. The ending note knocked it down from an unsure 6 to a pretty definitive 5 out of 10. One of the reasons I believe is something I don't see that often, and that is the phenomena of a movie being both better and underwhelming in ways it didn't intend so much.